Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blog that I write for them, talking all about songwriting and what has worked for various artists over the course of a handful of years, whether those songs have been hits or not. So this latest kick that I'm on is called A Guy Walks Into 32 Bars, and it's talking about the 32 bar structure that's prevalent in a lot of musical theater songs, and even though you may not write the next biggest Broadway hit, uh, it's always good to study these different structures. Maybe you can emulate it in some of your own writing. So thus far, we have looked at the Surrey with a Fringe on top from the movie Oklahoma, and we also looked at the song Get Me to the Church on Time from My Fair Lady, and then we looked at Iowa Stubborn from The Music Man. That was all last week. This week we are going to take a look at, in this video, If I Were a Rich Man from Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof follows Tevye, a Russian father of three girls who is trying to find proper suitors for them. He loves his daughters, and he would, in a perfect world, like for them to marry for love instead of having to marry for money. Their innocence and desire to find the perfect man is portrayed in the song Matchmaker, Matchmaker. But in If I Were a Rich Man, Tevye begins by talking to God, asking him what would be so wrong with giving him a small fortune. He then proceeds to talk about what he'd do with that money. First he says I wouldn't have to work hard, and then he would build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of town, a fine tin roof with real wooden floors below, and my personal favorite, there would be one long staircase going up and one even longer coming down and one more leading nowhere just for show. Of course, Tevye prides himself on being a man of faith, and he says that he'd spend time, the time that he lacks now, to sit in the synagogue and pray and maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. In a previous blog and vlog kick, we talked about if clauses and looked at If I Had $1,000,000 by the Bare Naked Ladies. This similarly uses an if clause, and it's charming for a whole different set of reasons. Melodically, the song is written in C major, but incorporates the parallel key of C minor to add a dramatic effect to the meanings and mindset of the singer. This C major to C minor contrast, as well as other harmonic movements, including the Clemmer feel, work to express a Jewish musical style, which is highlighted best by the use of the flat second, which is the D flat note, with the cantor-like chanting. Instrumentally, the song contains clarinet and strings, one of which is appropriately a fiddle, as well as flute, horns, and percussion. If I Were a Rich Man is embedded below. It's not necessarily worth listening to, but worth noting that Gwen Stefani interpolated this song for her song Rich Girl back in 2002. So If I Were a Rich Man, definitely worth listening to. I didn't mean to have that dangling modifier there. But If I Were a Rich Man's influence on pop culture is definitely out there beyond the theater world. So you can take a listen below. Next time, in my next video, we're going to look at Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music. Make sure you tune in for that. I'm Minnesota Mike. Thank you so much. Make sure you check out all my other blogs on the Memphis Songwriters Association website and all my other vlogs right here on YouTube. Thank you so much.